Welcome to 15K plus random movie reviews, where we take random movies from Metacritic's 15K plus movies to randomly watch whether we like it or not. Hello and welcome to episode 45 of 15K plus random movie reviews. This is Colin.
And this is Niall.
And this is random movie number 51 from our list of Oscar Best Picture winners. We did pick number 49, but that was The Godfather Part 2. So we decided in all our smart brain play that we would choose number 51 instead, because that's the original Godfather and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a damn good job we did too, because neither of us, well, I hadn't seen the first one before, and it would have been weird jumping into the second part without understanding the context of the second movie.
Yeah, so I have flashes of memories of watching this movie, but I remember the scene where Don Corleone dies, and I think I watched it when I was
the
oranges. I don't know. I think I watched it when I was a kid or a teenager, but I can't honestly say that I watched it.
There's only one scene I remember from watching this as a kid. It's Sonny's death, the toll booth, and that really stuck with me as well. To be honest, can't really remember much of the rest of the movie. I have seen bits and pieces, but that one is something I remember from my youth.
That's the one I don't remember. I didn't remember that at all. I was like, oh, I think
I might have been ushered out of the room when that happened. It's like, oh, you can't see this, dear God.
He certainly flopped around a lot with the amount of bullets he got in him.
Yeah, and then they threw in a few kicks and shot him a bit more.
Yeah, it was personal. Not business, as they kept on saying.
No, not business at all.
No, it's business. It's business. All right, so it does run for 2 hours and 55 minutes, but I didn't really feel that too much. And to be honest with you as well, when I was taking notes, I didn't really find that I was taking crazy, like I've got 2 pages of notes, but I didn't really feel like I had to take a note every second. The scenes lasted a long time.
They did. It's almost like it's the inverse of the Roald Dahl short story we did recently, where it was impossible to keep up with the pace of the story. This is plodding along, really keeps you interested, but the story isn't coming out fast. It's the scene drags you along, and the cinematography drags you along, and the relationship building drags you along. But it's not fast paced at all.
No, like I timed the wedding scene. The wedding scene at the start is 27 minutes, so it's like a big chunk.
Wow.
It's like setting the stage, who the characters are, what the family means, what power Don Corleone holds, the Godfather. It's for any starting scene in a movie. It's up there with the very best.
Ordinarily, I'd say if a movie's wedding scene takes more than 15 minutes, the movie's going to be cack.
Yeah.
But this is epic. It's
really good scene setter. And also I noticed when I was watching it, when you go into the office with the dawn, it's dark and dim, and then you go outside and you're kind of blinded by the party and the sunlight. And so obviously the cinematographer Gordon Willis, he's well known for his dim settings in movies, and I think I read in the 5,000 bits of trivia that's listed on IMDb, you just can't pick any of them. But the production studio was like, can you turn the lights on for some of these stage? And then they're going, nope. Nope.
You get a flashlight. Use your phone.
Yeah, no, it was great. I think he had the reputation for being like a Rembrandt. If you see a Rembrandt stage,
Yeah.
It's quite dim, but then it's massive contrast with skin color. It's very good. Anyway, the budget for this was 6 million to 7.2 million. I think it started off with 3 or 4, and they were given a boost. Brought in 250 to 291 million, so that was amazing for the day. Oh, yeah. It's got a Metascore of 100 and a user score of 93. So you're dealing with some heavyweights.
Them's big numbers.
Oh, they're big numbers. Okay. The nutshell is as follows, if I can actually find the nutshell. Oh yeah, it's here. Francis Ford Coppola's epic features Marlon Brando in his Oscar-winning role as the patriarch of the Corleone family. Director Coppola paints a chilling portrait of the Sicilian clan's rise and near fall from power in America, masterfully balancing the story between the Corleone's family life and the ugly crime business in which they are engaged. Based on Mario Puzo's best-selling novel and featuring career-making performances by Al Pacino, James Caan, and Robert Duvall, this searing and brilliant film garnered 10 Academy Award nominations and won 3, including Best Picture of 1972.
Yeah, absolutely deserve it. Not that I know too many movies from 1972, if I'm perfectly honest. I can't imagine anything being better than this one.
Yeah. I don't know what came. I don't know what they were challenging with for Best Picture, but anyway, they won Best Picture in 1973 for Albert S. Ruddy. Picked that one up. Marlon Brando won Best Actor in a Leading Role. Of course, famously, he didn't go and
Yeah,
pick it up himself.
he
He,
sent the Native
yeah,
American lady in to pick it up.
Sachin Little Feather. So yeah, and then the nominees obviously didn't get it. Then the winner for Best Writing Screenplay was Mario Puzo and Francis Ford Coppola himself. And yeah, so obviously well represented at the Oscars, and it won 31 awards, I think, when it came out. So it obviously starts off with a dark screen with the seminal, uh, what's the name of the composer? Nino Rota did the
Yeah,
whole theme, like 6 notes. That's just replayed.
so good though,
Oh
so good.
yeah, it's replayed in many different guises throughout the movie, different tempo, different instruments, and it obviously it's classic and it's seared itself into pop culture and cinema
Yeah.
history. But it's an amazing, powerfully sort of trait or trend throughout the entire movie.
Mhm.
So we have an excellent, excellent intro where what's his name? Jesus Christ, my name's
Don Corleone.
no, it's not. It's the Bonacera, the character
Oh
who's
yeah,
who's
yeah.
come on his day of the wedding because Don Corleone can't refuse
And the
any.
day of my daughter to be married, you have to come and ask for this. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you've seen Zootropolis.
I did actually see Zootropolis.
With
Actually,
this scene is redone in that movie with a little like ferrety thing where he's Don Corleone, and it's exactly the same scene. But this is such pop culture. Like it just look at Simpsons, look at any sort of comedy that takes the mick out of stuff like Family Guy. This has been done 1,000 times since because it's such a it's such a piece of pop culture that sticks right into the back of your brain and never leaves. It's an amazing piece, and the dialogue here really sets the scene for the power that Don Corleone has and the respect that he demands for favors.
yeah. So we see a number of different favor requests during his daughter's wedding. So he's in the office for most of the wedding, pretty much. He pops down for a dance and a few
A few
meetings, a few
sherries.
sherries. Yeah. So yeah, so Bonacera, he gets his favor.
Not the worst favor that you can be asked from a mob boss, actually, later on in the movie. It's not that bad
No, and then
when he comes looking.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, actually, it could have been a lot worse. So yeah, later on, he comes back into the plot after a nasty Sonny's death.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a funeral dude, and he has to fix Sonny later on.
Yeah. Tough job.
Tough job, yeah. So yeah, as I said before, it's the whole introduction to the movie is the different characters. You're left with no secret to how powerful.
Yeah. What I like is the entire family is introduced and where they fit in the family and the importance of Michael very early, telegraphed by the scene where Don Corleone and the lads are all lined up to take a photograph for the wedding, and he's like, "No, we're not taking this photograph without Michael."
That's true, yeah. And then he pops in full army uniform, so you're left under no misconception where he's been. He's not in the family business, and it's something he says to Kay, his partner, his fiance, maybe his girlfriend, not his fiance, is she?
Yeah,
His
his
girlfriend
girlfriend
at
at
the
the time.
time.
I don't think they were destined to be married at
No,
that
not at
point.
that point. Later on, yeah.
Mm.
So she's kind of going, what does your dad do? And well,
Uh,
yeah. There's a bunch of cops outside taking numbers as well, FBI. So Sonny's
yeah,
not happy with that.
read an interesting tidbit in IMDb about that, where Sonny grabs the camera
Mm,
off of the FBI photographer and smashes it on the ground and then throws money at him. Apparently, that wasn't in the script.
right.
James
Yeah.
Caan just went for it
Yeah. I read
and then
that
felt
too.
bad about it and gave him money.
Extras probably going, what the hell? That's not in the script. What am I supposed to
It's my
do?
camera. He just gave me $2.
Yeah. I love Luca Brazzi
Oh
The
yeah,
way he's outside,
practicing his lines.
scared
Yeah,
shitless that he's going to meet the Dawn in a few seconds when requests, or he's actually no, he's not even requesting anything. He's just happy to
he's
be,
offering his services,
yeah.
which was a mistake.
One garroting later.
Yeah, poor guy,
Yeah,
poor
poor
guy.
guy.
I read as well. You know the scene then a few minutes later or a couple of minutes later where he does meet Don Corleone and he's fluffing his lines and
Yeah,
he's really messing it up. That was him actually fluffing his lines,
yeah,
but Coppola loved it. And then they reshot the scenes earlier where he was practicing his lines
yeah. He
to make
wasn't.
it look like he was going to fluff it, and it's amazing. It's a great way of leaning into an actor screwing up.
Yeah, it's
It's using it.
genius move just to go back and go, okay, so he was obviously nervous. That looked great. So let's make a little intro scene where he's outside
Yeah,
practicing. Yeah, it's amazing. And the whole production story is just made up of little things like that. There's lots of ad libbing and there's lots of practical jokes and there's just
did you see the one about the mooning and what
yeah,
they did on
yeah,
the
yeah. I saw that one.
that made me chuckle.
Lots of mooning was going on, and it sounded like Marlon Brando liked a bit of a laugh as well
Yeah,
from the tidbits of trivia.
even though he was a nightmare to work with, apparently.
Well, it's the second movie in a row where we have an actor having to have scenes written on cue cards. Like, yeah, Marilyn.
And then, in fairness, his for different reasons because he was so hyper method that he didn't want the lines to be. It's kind of like Tropic Thunder. I don't know, script needs me. Kind of like that. He didn't want to have read the script before. He wanted to read it right there and then, so it was first time, fresh, new. I'm the character saying this stuff and not rehearsing it, which
Yeah.
is weird, but it really worked for him.
Oh yeah, it came across very realistic and very just. Yeah, I was like, yeah, he's got the two. He's got this prosthetic in his mouth that makes him look like a bulldog, as he
Yeah.
wanted, and it certainly makes his pronunciation of things. It's historic, but it's also unique, and it's really you either like it or you don't like it.
I think it's amazing how it's done. Like he really builds a character.
And I know I really this has just popped into my head now, but he acts with his hands a lot as the Dawn. He's got the
Yeah.
little flicks away to the people, the little gentle flicks, waves of his hand. He's got the seminal scratching of his face in upward motion as well. That's then
It's a very Italian thing to speak with your hands as well.
yeah,
It's you gesticulate like crazy if you're Italian.
yeah, yeah. Johnny Fontaine arrives. He's a singer that the Dawn made happen with in Hollywood or whatever. So he's arrived and everybody's swooning at him. He doesn't really come up until later on in the movie though, so he's sort of incidental character. He kind of bookends a little bit the movie, a little bit.
He's a bit Frank Sinatra, which caused a bit of problem for the movie studio because Frank Sinatra did not like that at
Yeah.
all, in fact, and his part was cut back massively. So apparently they filmed a bunch more scenes with him, but they were cut.
Oh really? Oh yeah, I think I read that too. Frank Sinatra certainly had a lot of sway, didn't he?
He did. He did. He probably had to made some offers that could not be refused from some friends.
Yeah, 3 times that was mentioned in the script. I took note. I counted. I made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Yeah, and it's it may be over. No, it's not overused at all,
No.
but it describes perfectly what actually happened.
Yeah, pretty much. You're dead if you don't follow my offer.
Yeah, and then this with the Frank Sinatra style character, the guy who was holding his contract that he wanted to get out of
Mm,
was offered 10 grand at the time to get out of the contract, which is a lot of money.
right.
But he said no. So then the Don turned up with a bunch of lads and some guns and said, "This contract is null and void. How do you feel about that?"
Take 1,000.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
was,
And that's we got something.
and this was great because this was told in Michael was telling Kay this, and so it was just a
Yeah.
brilliant way of telling the story. And just because she's staring at him, he just goes, "True story. It's a true story." Just in case you didn't realize. But that's not me. That's not
In
me.
fairness,
That's what he says. That's not me. I'm not. I'm not my
if
family.
you want some red flags before you get married to somebody,
Yeah.
that's the sort of story that should have you just running. And if it doesn't, you can't complain later. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So we're like this wedding scene is full of intricate plots. We know the end of Johnny Fontaine. We know the story of Johnny Fontaine. We know that Michael and Kay are together, and she's getting to learn about who he is. We've got Sonny slipping away with one of the bridesmaids, who's married, of course. We've
Of
got
course.
senator and judges passing their regards. He's got them on the payroll. Uh, yeah, Luca Brasi has done that. So yeah, so then Johnny Fontaine comes in and tells about the woes of Volts not giving him a movie part. Yeah, so this scene is great because Johnny Fontaine's been very downtrodden. I don't know what I'm gonna do. He's like, act like a man.
Slap.
Yeah,
Apparently, the slap was improvised as well, so Johnny wasn't expecting
yeah,
it.
good. That's the best kind of slap.
Yeah, but it works so well, and like because of course you whine like this to Don Corleone, he's not going to be impressed.
No,
Now, as you know, as his godson, he still says, "Okay, I'll make him an offer he can't refuse," and like he has to sod off and take it because he's going to get his part in the movie.
yeah, so he's going to send lawyer Tom down, Robert Duvall. He's going to send him down to California. So that's the end of the wedding scene, pretty much. It's
Yeah,
27 minutes. I counted. It's a massive setup for the entire movie. Tom goes down to California. What happens there?
so he drops in on the set and he's asking some fixers about I need to have a word with your boss. Basically, you need to recast your main guy in this movie, otherwise it'll be some trouble. He's kicked out effectively. He said, "We don't particularly care what your opinion is," until one of the guys checks his backstory and figures out who he actually works for. And of course, he's invited straight back because Don Corleone is a scary dude.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, Volts, what's the name?
yeah,
Was it all
Volts. Yeah,
Volts? Volts has very high opinion of his own ability to protect himself from mafiosa style people. Maybe a little bit too much. And this leads to one of the other massive scenes, much reused since, with the
hmm.
old horsey in the bed. Or
Hey,
nay, not all the horsey, obviously. Uh,
no, it's a great scene.
it is a great scene, and the reveal of it, where he's lying in bed and he just wakes up and he's just looking at his hand and his blood, and he's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
He slowly peels back the bed sheets, and there's a horse's head staring at him. It's horrible.
it's
And there's
nasty.
blood absolutely everywhere, and it's a real horse's head, apparently.
So I read, I think Francis Ford Coppola said in an interview, he was saying, yeah, all the animal rights experts were going up in arms about real horse's head we used. And he was like going, yeah, and all those people that were complaining to us, I got the horse's head from a dog canning factory. So all their little doggies are being fed horse meat.
Well, this is the thing, though. Like that, this happens. Still happens now. The horses are fed to dogs. That's reality. Uh, I wouldn't complain so much about Francis Ford Coppola using the head. I can. You want to complain about it? Complain about the dog can food place. Meh.
It's not the like he liked to do stuff with animals that was not nice though, because remember in
Oh, did he?
Apocalypse Now they show a live sacrifice of the buffalo, the water buffalo. That's real. That sacrifice.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh, didn't know that. Ugh, that's a bit
yeah. I
grim.
always watched it and went, "Oh my god!" And then I looked it up and was like, "Oh no, that's not nice." I always look away, skip past it. But I'm sure.
Yeah, that's completely unnecessary in that
Yeah, I
respect.
don't know where PETA was or the animal rights. No animals were harmed. I wonder what they said at the end of that movie. One animal was harmed at the end
Uh,
of this movie.
horrifically
Yeah,
harmed.
for the gratification of the director. So yeah, no, it's a great horse's head scene, but yeah, it lingers on the horse's head for quite a while.
The screaming as well. The screaming of Volts
Yeah.
is prolonged.
Oh, and
$600,000
that's
horse.
right. So it is actually his horse. It's his prized horse possession. He was going to put out to stud or whatever. He wasn't going to race him.
Or
So
Horsey was going to have a great time.
yeah. So yeah, and he also described actually just a little bit that I'm never going to use Fontaine because he took my prodigy, he ruined her. So I love the
Yeah.
way that Tom just leaves going, okay, I must go because Mr. Corleone likes to hear bad news immediately. That was
Yeah.
very nice.
No real reaction from Tom. Tom kind of half expected it, I guess.
He
And
knew it was going to be
he,
sorted.
yeah, yeah. It's like it's your bed, baby.
Yeah.
You lay in it.
I love the way it goes from the horse's head, it slowly fades into the Don's face, into the next scene.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just a
yeah.
beautifully just staring there, and they're talking about. the next character that's going to be a pivotal part in the plot was Salazzo and his
That's a lot.
drugs.
So
So it's like,
now
yeah. So it's
Don's not that fond of the concept. Thinks it's a bit, what's it say, a little dangerous, which is funny considering the business they're in.
yeah, true. He's like, no, this is going to ruin us. It's going to ruin it. And he says it at the end at the mafia heads table as well. Drugs are going to
Mm.
ruin us.
Yeah, I think the main reason that it's not so much that he was concerned about people using drugs. I think it was more about the what it would do to their influence with people like judges and coppers. The people that they have in the back pocket. If they then move into narcotics, as they called it,
Yeah.
would it destroy their influence? And that was one of the biggest powers that the Corleone family had.
Yeah. So he's not into it, but then obviously Sonny is like, oh, you never know.
Yeah, it's kind of the future, Dad. A lot of money, little investment, loads of cash.
No. And he's like, hey, Sonny, stay back. The
Yeah,
hell? Don't talk out of turn. Don't talk about the family with outside people or whatever.
yeah. Never express your opinion about the family
Yeah.
in front of
Yeah,
outsiders.
yeah. Nice one. Mm. So what happens then?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
This is where
yeah, he
they
wants
uh,
sorry, go ahead.
This is where they realize, okay, we've no ill effects out of this. They were hoping that it'll just be respectful and both families would be happy.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it the Tagliatelle family because I can't
Yeah,
pronounce it right, and that's
Taglia.
terrible. It's a Taglia
Yeah.
family. They send in a spy, or our friend who couldn't get his lines right,
Luca
to
Brazzi.
Luca Brazzi
Yeah.
is going to say, "Listen, I don't like these Corleone chaps
Yeah.
anymore. Gives a job." But he's sniffed out within
It's
about five
5 seconds.
seconds, and
What my subtitles weren't working for the bar scene. What was Colazzo saying to him? What were they
my
what's it
subtitles weren't working for it
maybe it
either,
doesn't
and I
maybe
was.
it's meant to be that. Maybe we don't get subtitles for the Sicilian things. I got subtitles for the Italian bits.
But that's the thing, though. The Sicilian's slightly different to
Yeah,
standard
so maybe
Italian.
that's a
So
I don't know if that's a real movie element, but people are going to be bloody laughing at
yeah,
us.
I get subtitles first, and I wasn't willing to call up my Italian friends and get them to translate it for me.
Hey,
I didn't really get much of it. Get a bit of the conversation later on with Al
true.
Pacino,
Yeah.
but because some of the words are almost English.
Yeah.
But in this scene, I couldn't make head nor tails of it.
It,
Unfortunately, it doesn't need much,
no,
to be
it's there's a
honest.
lot of just it's just subterfuge. It's just keeping him busy at the bar
Yeah,
and a beautiful
while somebody sneaks up behind him.
beautiful scene of a knife in the hand, can't
Oh
leave, and
yeah,
somebody garrots him from behind.
and his death is just ugly, isn't
Yeah,
it?
he's like a puffer fish.
Pure
Yeah.
ugly. Yeah, his eyes start coming out, and he's and yeah, just dropping to the floor. Horrific. At this time, my kids tried to walk into the cinema
Oops.
room when I was watching. I was like, "Oh no, don't see
They're
that."
just playing cops and robbers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great scene. Absolutely amazing scene. I felt so bad for Mr. Braza or
Luca
Brazzi.
Parazzi, yeah. So
Brazzi.
anyhow, we have a few
Yeah.
scenes here that come quite quickly after each other. Tom gets
Mm,
taken off the street by the Tattaglias. Don's leaving his HQ, and his Paulie, his usual driver, has been sick for a while. So
yes,
Fredo is
that's not a
there.
good sign.
Yeah, so he's going out. Oh, I want to buy some fruits. Grazie. So,
Oranges, would you believe?
oranges.
Oranges.
So it's interesting that bookended. Spoiler alert: he gets shot down when he's picking up some oranges. It's a great scene because it's the only overhead scene in the movie,
Mm,
and I think Francis Ford Coppola was saying to Gordon Willis, "Listen, gotta do this scene because it's looking from above, like a heavenly view. He might be passing away up to heaven or whatever." So Gordon likes low level shit.
yeah.
He likes to set the
This is not his bag.
no. So he just went, okay, fine. So he got one overhead shot, and it's a great scene. He gets gunned down.
It's an amazing
Fruit
scene,
goes
and
everywhere.
it's yeah, and he's lying on the ground with holes in his back, blood pouring out, as
Fredo
Fredo just
sucks.
screams. Yeah, he's useless. Let's be
Yeah, he
honest. The whole way through this
takes a
movie,
gun out.
absolute
Is he his real son?
drops it. I think he
Okay,
is, or is he the? Was he the guy that they
tuck in or whatever.
took in? I can't remember which son that was. But he was useless anyway, and he's useless throughout the entire movie. And Don Corleone knows he's useless and doesn't really care that he's useless. He just has him there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a great scene. Fredo tries to get a gun out, but he's a bit of and the
Yeah,
Dawn.
yeah. The guys had run away by the time he has the gun out, and then he just drops it, and then he starts crying.
Yeah, yeah. So Dawn's down. And he looks pretty much dead to me.
Yeah, he gets shot 5 times in the back. Most humans, they be gone after one or two.
Yeah.
Not Vito.
So Michael finds out, and Sonny finds out. Sonny gets a call, and in the
Yeah,
meantime,
Michael finds out from a newspaper
oh
article.
yes, good scene after going to the movies or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, it was a great scene. I
Yeah,
thought.
Kay is walking past the newsstand and suddenly stops.
Hey, up!
Hey, up! This is strange.
What's this in the
Yeah,
paper?
and Sonny gets a call, I think, as well. I think yeah.
Yeah, we've got your buddy.
Oh yes, yeah. He's
Higgins.
at home with a crying kid. He's going out to meet other chicks at this time, like he does a lot. So Colazzo's
Yeah.
with Tom, basically saying, "Hey, your Tom's going to come back with a proposition." And we cut to a scene with Tom and Colazzo's there going, "Listen, we want to do a deal with Sonny. He's up for the drugs. He's down."
We've killed the boss man. You just have to get Sonny in line, and we'll make loads of money. Everybody's gonna win. Happy days.
Yeah, and I love that Tom says something like, "Oh, I don't know. You're going to have to get past Luca Brazzi." And Colazzo just goes, what's he say? He says, "Let me worry about Luca." He kind of just,
Yeah.
yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, I've already killed him. Don't worry about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but they were never going to get past Sonny. Let's be honest. Sonny was never going to do a deal at this point.
No. So Sonny and his crew are chatting it out. He's like, he's with Michael. Michael's there, or Mikey as they call him, and the other goons, and they're just sort of chatting it out, going, What are we doing here? What are we doing?" Paulie comes in sniffling with a cough and a cold. The poor lad, he leaves the room again and just, kill him. He stitched my
Yeah.
dad up.
Not good for
And then
Paulie.
they get a newspaper delivery, don't they? Come on.
If I missed here.
Sleeping with the Fishes, Luca Barazzi.
Oh, yeah. Well, that wasn't a newspaper. That was a bulletproof vest.
Oh,
that he was
sorry,
wearing.
yes.
They wrapped the fish in.
Yeah. I thought
It's a great scene as well.
my brain probably just saw fish and chips and just saw it wrapped up in newspaper.
Sicilian. This is what they call a Sicilian message.
Yeah, sleeping with the fishes. Like fish plural is fish, but if it's many different species of fish, it's fishes.
Oh, is it fishes?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. I thought it was just bad grammar.
No. Sicilians have got it. They know their fishes.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. So, I love this scene because this was ad lib. So they take Paulie for a spin,
A road trip.
and just say, just stop in the middle of this cornfield road in the middle of nowhere.
I need to go for a wee.
Yeah. And so then he gets just shot in the back of the head, and they're
no faffing around.
yeah.
Really.
So yeah. So what's that guy's name? His name is. Oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. The chubby character, goon,
Oh, goddamn.
Castellano or something.
Yeah. He's an important character in the movie as well.
God, we're terrible.
God damn it. Yeah,
Clemenza, beautiful, yeah. Because he was like, he's up at the end going, "Oh, is he the traitor?" Anyway, he ad-libbed the line, and I thought it was very funny. He was like,
pick up the gun in the concert.
"Yeah, leave the gun, take the cannoli."
The cannoli, sorry, yes.
That was very good.
You're damn right. Well, his wife did ask.
True. No,
You don't want to get in trouble there.
The missus. All right, so it's at this stage that you're kind of seeing the arc of Mikey take a turn. Like he's getting sucked into the family business.
Yeah, he's been squeaky clean up to this point.
Yeah, and he's losing Kay. He's working. He's hanging out with the family a lot, doing a little bit of, I don't know what. He's sort of getting his hands dirty. And so
they just try to kill his dad, so he's a bit invested now and assisting where he can.
Yeah, so there's another epic scene where he goes to the hospital and there's nobody on duty.
This is a great scene. So he walks in, there's a half-eaten sandwich at the front desk, there's some coffee sitting there, still hot, but nobody there, and the radio playing in the background. There's no nurses, there's no doctors for most of the place where he's looking around. The guards aren't there, who's supposed to be there. It was supposed to be cops and some of the lads, but they've all been removed, and he's getting really freaked out.
The nurse scared me when she came into the room.
Did she?
Yeah, because we're in the room in the camera POV.
Oh yeah.
Mikey is at his dad's bedside, and the nurse comes in directly close.
You can't be in here.
Yeah, directly close to the camera, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
But what I love now is obviously he gets the nurse and they move
Yeah,
rooms. So the dad is no longer in the same room. So when somebody comes to kill, it's a great move. Straight away, you're thinking, okay, Michael, very smart, very calm, very
yeah,
collected. He's got this. But then the next person comes in, slowly walking in, holding something under his arm, and you're like, "Oh, here comes the
yeah.
killer." No, no, it's the guy who baked the
It's
wedding cake.
Enzo the baker.
Enzo the
But
baker, which is a great, it leads to one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, where he grabs Enzo and he says, "You and me are going downstairs. We're going to wait outside."
yeah,
And he says, "Put your hand in your pocket there. Get rid of those flowers, you idiot. Put your hand in your pocket. Make it look like you've got a gun." And Enzo's like, "What?"
fair play, Enzo. He stood his ground.
Well, yeah, he's got a Corleone telling him to do something. You do it.
Yeah,
It's such a smart scene. It's so
it's,
intelligent because it works. Because the guys pull up and they see people standing there holding guns!
yeah,
Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! And they just drive off.
yeah. And they're
But
like, yeah, they're obviously the cops are in the play here, and we get to see that in a
yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah,
But I love the lead up into Enzo coming up the stairs with the flowers because it's just we just
yeah.
see empty corridors and we just hear the footsteps, and the footsteps didn't piss me off either. They were good footsteps. The sound,
Oh yeah. It was building
yeah,
tension.
it was great tension builder, and I actually couldn't remember whether it was real goons or I don't know what Enzo was doing there like late at night as well. It's a bit
Yeah,
suspicious.
bit suspicious, but obviously he's just an idiot baker.
Just got off his work from a 12-hour shift. He's probably just going in, wiped the flour off his
Yeah,
hands, and went, "Oh, I must
I'm gonna
finish."
say hello to
Yeah.
Vito.
Uh, so a very powerful scene is when Mikey comes up and goes, "I'm here. I'm with you now. I'm with you
Yeah,
now." And then Don's smiling, and a tear comes out of his eye.
starts crying.
He
Yeah,
knows.
it's just
He knows he's got
yeah.
Mikey now.
He knows he's got Mikey, but later on we find he's not. He's delighted and incredibly upset about that at the same time
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he never wanted it for him.
No, he knew.
As we find out later
Yeah,
on.
he like later on, he's basically saying, I just always imagined you as a senator or a governor, and having you in the game in my pocket. But
Yeah. Yeah, but I think he never wanted him to be dirty like himself. I think he saw a lot of himself in Michael, and he wanted this version of himself not have the power, but not to get there by dirty means.
yeah, well, Captain McCluskey comes along and chins Mikey a bit for giving him grief.
Oh, that's a mistake there, Captain Mikulski.
Oh, it's the end of him after a few seconds on scene. So yeah, so Captain McCluskey is obviously on the Tartaglia's books.
Oh yeah.
And then I think the next morning we get to HQ and we go we've hit Bruno Tartaglia this morning and got to get Salazzo now, and then basically Mikey's going, I'll do it. I'll get McCloskey and Salazzo, and they're going, what the hell? It's not been done before.
Can't kill a cop.
It zooms in on Mikey slowly as he's saying his plan
Yeah.
or whatever. It's another nice little cinematography thing. Just
Maybe we can kill a cop. Where is it written you can't do it?
yeah, it's like, it's Mikey. We can just shuttle him away. He's not really in the family like business, so we can shuttle him away for a while and he can do it.
And they were like, we got some lads in the newspapers. We can drop a few things. Mr. McCluskey was dirty, wasn't he? He was taking money from some dodgy people. Clearly,
Yeah.
it's a smart move again.
So again, we have this
Yep.
ramping up of tension. The next few scenes, we have the one scene where they're waiting for the intel where the meetup's going to be. So Mikey's going to meet with
Yeah.
Colazzo and McCluskey, and try to fake meet in the middle or whatever. So they finally get it, and he gets picked up, Mikey, and they go one way.
The Jack Dempsey restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they drive towards New Jersey, and I think I can't remember the name of the bridge now, but they're halfway across the bridge, and he does a U-turn, a U-turn.
Yeah. I think they're in a tunnel.
Michael looks.
I
Was
think
it a
they're in
tunnel?
a tunnel at that stage, yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyway,
they're going to New Jersey, and he's like, "Oh crap, Intel was incorrect."
Yeah, that would be the.
But no, it wasn't.
No.
It visibly looks like, oh, thank Christ.
He keeps it cool. He keeps it cool. So we end up at Louis Cafe, or just Louis, basically, Italian restaurant. Great scene again. Just the tension, the nonchalance of McCluskey gets me too. The fucking bravado. He's like
arrogance, pure and utter
just
arrogance.
Yeah, I checked. I made clean. I've done it thousands of times.
Well, he's like the other guys in the previous scene where they think, well, you can't hit a cop, especially one so highly ranked. There's no way you get away with it. So he's thinking, I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
He's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I love the next scene where he excuses himself to go to the toilet.
I just love before you get there. I just love the squeak of the wine because nobody's talking. It's squeaking the opener into the cork, and it plops out. Nobody's talking still. Pours it, then they start talking. I just like that audio sequence. But yes,
It's good. Builds attention again because clearly, even though Michael was told, "Listen, make them comfortable," he doesn't.
No, and I see he's like going, "Yeah, is it okay to go to the toilet?" And Solazzo's eye twitches. It's just a simple,
Yeah, I seen that. It was amazing. But then he pats down Michael, thinking, "Okay, well you're not packing, so off you go." But then in the toilet, Michael's reaching behind the cistern to pick up the gun where it's supposed to be, and there's about 15, 20 seconds where he's not grabbing anything and he can't find it, and it's really tension building. It really is until he grabs hold of something and he slowly drags it out.
Yeah,
amazing scene.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then like he doesn't follow the plan. He doesn't like he's been told before, come out, fire straight
Guns
away,
blazing and leave.
2 shots each, drop the gun.
But he's noticed something in the toilet. I think this is one of the beautiful things about Michael and how he's portrayed in this. Like information just hits him and he uses it straight away. He hears
the train
outside.
Yes.
And he's thinking, okay, that's noisy.
Yes.
I'm using that.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
And he sits and listens to it and sees how long it takes. And he goes, okay. He goes in, sits down, and doesn't say anything for a while. And then the next train comes.
Then he shoots Solazzo in the head. Fine.
Solazzo in the head, and then turns to the
McCluskey
and just pops him. A very surprised McCluskey.
Well, yeah, but he hits him in the neck first, and then he hits him in the head.
He does. Double taps him,
and then he just walks out the back and
cool as a
drops the gun. So then we have a sort of a newspaper montage that sort of describes what happens in the 3 months in between this scene and the next scene. A lot of the pictures that were used were real photos of dead mobsters. So I read.
I heard that Mr. Lucas was involved in putting this collage
together. True that. Yeah.
Which is nice when you can call on somebody like George Lucas to, hey, will you do a little montage for me? Thanks very much.
No problem.
I'll give you a tenner.
Yeah, because I think he had done American Graffiti Lucas had done before this? Or something like that.
Just before.
Yeah, so Coppola was in cahoots with him. There was a couple of different things I think Coppola helped him out with or something. So they're all sort of best buddies. Anyway, the Dawn comes home and some poor bastards have to carry him up the stairs.
Yeah, it's a great scene. I read another trivia piece on this was because Marlon's such an a-hole, he attached weights to the bottom of the beds. So it was like twice. They're carrying basically 2 Marlons up the stairs.
That's
what an a-hole.
That's method acting. He wants people to suffer for their art.
Yeah. Or he's just a jerk.
Yeah. So then he's in the bedroom and it's real family and a crying kid who wouldn't shut up.
Do you know who that crying kid was?
I did, actually, yeah.
Yeah, another Coppola. A future director.
Future Lost in Translation director, Sofia Coppola. Yeah, it's a family affair in more ways than one.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I found it interesting that the real family leaves and the mobster family stays behind in the room with him, and he's going, "Where's Michael?"
Yeah. Then he rolls his eyes when they tell him.
Yeah, they just wave him away. He just kind of does his faint wave away that he does so well during the movie.
Get out the fuck.
If that was an Irish mafia person, out the fuck you could.
Out the fuck you gobshites.
Hey, that's our first movie. It's a satire of The Godfather. What would you call it? A pun on the name that is Irishified. Let's put
Shanaher.
Shanaher. No, it's Diha-aher.
Oh, Diha, sorry. Not a granddad.
It's the one word I remember. Buecas la Dia.
Anyway, that's the next movie review because we'll direct it and star in it, and it's gonna be big.
Yeah, what the fuck? That's what one of the lines is already. We know that much. And it's not going to be oranges; it'll be potatoes. Anyway, Mikey's in Sicily having a grand old time with 2 buddies, or 2 quotation marks buddies.
Yeah. There are only 2 young men left on the island. By the side of it.
One of them says women are more dangerous than shotguns in Sicily.
Probably true.
He sees a nice lady, and it's the landlord of the pub's daughter, and he doesn't like it when they talk about her.
The 2. It's going to call them bouncers. No, the 2 bodyguards are going on about how pretty she is and stuff, and the barman's like, "Wait, who?"
The one in the red dress.
Get the
Get the
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great scene as well.
Well, it's great to
But
see him because Mikey then he shows his full character arc as he's in, hey, translate this for me. And he's so political, so measured, so serious, saying, listen, don't need mean any respect, but I want to marry your daughter, probably.
yeah, it is a great scene. It shows him straight away. There's no learning to this skill. He's already a Corleone, and he is a Don Corleone. You know,
Oh
he's
yeah.
when he talks and when he means it, dear God.
Yeah, he's made for it, and I think he realizes it too, that he's done the hit back then, and he's over here. He's biding his time, and it's it's he knows how to handle stuff. So yeah, he sort of has to woo Apollonia with her family walking 5 feet behind every time they go for a walk.
Yeah, it's an interesting scene. I like the way she doesn't really get much choice in the whole thing. But then when you think about it, other than his two bodyguards, there's no men on the island, so he's probably a catch.
Yeah.
And he's ridiculously loaded. She's got a lot of
Yeah.
power.
She's like, yeah, she kind of just goes along with it. I guess it's the sort of way it probably is done anyway. Sort of arranged marriage on Sicily was probably the thing to do back then.
Yeah.
Anyway, we head back to America, and Sonny's acting up with a couple of other chicks again. But his sister
And
is
then
hit. He sees her with him.
by the brother-in-law, yeah, and that's a big mistake from Carlo.
Yeah, so he heads out to the street and beats the hell out of him with a trash bin lid.
It's another fantastic scene. And I was watching, going, yeah, hit him some more.
Yeah, Carlo, right?
Yeah, he has it coming. Carlo, yeah, deserves
Yeah,
it.
hit him some
Kick
more.
him.
Chuck him into that fire hydrant. Kick him in the face.
Couple of slight digs, and then you're done.
Yeah, those trash cans reminded me of Oscar the Grouch.
I don't remember seeing that exact scene in Sesame Street.
You don't see that one when he beat up Bert and Ernie?
Well, what he did to Big Bird was just,
Garroted him with an onion net.
Stuck a knife in his hand on the bar.
That's our second movie, Muppets Mafia.
Muppets Godfather, yeah.
All right, so what else happens? So
oh yeah, I think we'll go back to Sicily then.
Oh yeah, Mikey's married in Sicily straight away. Like it's very quickly.
It's like 15 minutes. He's still got a black eye, is what I noticed in the scene. So it's only been a couple of weeks, like a few weeks.
No, it's been 3 months.
Has it?
Kind of says it in the newspaper montage after it's like 3 months of violence between the families, and so I think he just, because he mentions later, he got a plastic surgeon to fix his face. I think McCluskey screwed him over with a massive beating. I don't know how, because he must have
had some sort of break as well, not just a black eye.
Oh yeah, he broke his jaw. They said that.
Yeah. Missed that. But yeah, I was thinking to myself, how is he getting married and he's still got a black eye?
Yeah, so he's married back then. Kay arrives out of nowhere back home with a letter from Mikey. Awkward. So Tom's like going, yeah, he's not going to be coming back. Come in and get a taxi though.
I can't take your letter off yet, otherwise I'll be admitting I know where he is.
Yeah, good old lawyer. Well done, Tom. Connie gets beat up again, and so he answers the phone in the headquarters.
And this is important later on in the movie.
Oh yeah. So Sonny's going, I'm going to get him. Going to bloody get him. He starts driving his car.
The biggest problem being he doesn't wait for anybody.
No, his rage.
Well, actually, it's probably good that he doesn't wait for anybody, considering what happens now, how severe.
Well, this is where it shows like he's not as good as Mikey, really.
But Mikey was cold. Even in horrible situations where he's angry, he's cold.
Calculated, yeah.
Sonny just does. And that's why he would have been a terrible next Don.
So, yeah, what happens?
Yeah, he goes to pay for his toll.
It's more than change back.
Yeah, he hands over $1 to the guy, and the guy goes, "Oh, thank you very much." Shuts the windows and then lies on the ground. And somebody's like, "What?" Then a car in front reverses into him, and then like 12 guys pop up either side, and everybody's holding a Tommy gun, and everybody shoots, and he gets absolutely perforated.
Yeah,
he manages to get out of the car.
Funnily enough, it was like a scene in Naked Gun where O.J. Simpson in the boat gets shot to pieces and then starts putting his hand in wet paint, and
he's very much like that. Yeah, it's or again going back to Tropic Thunder where he gets shot 50 times in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit overdone, but still, it's a harsh way to kill somebody. Like, 4 or 5 shots probably do the job. I think maybe after they've seen how many shots it took to kill the dad, or failed to kill the dad,
True.
you're like, maybe a few hundred will do it
They
this
learned
time.
their lesson. These Corleones, a little bit tough-skinned.
Yeah. So anyway, Sonny is toast. He is all kinds of
He's
dead.
dead.
Every type of dead, he is that.
Yeah. Tom, we obviously see after that Tom's having a little stiff drink before he goes and tells the Don, and the Don comes in shuffling in. You can see that he's weakened and
Yeah, he's frail at this point. He was shot 5 times in the back.
yeah, he's a bit screwed. So anyway, Tom tells him, and he sort of has a gasp. He does this sort of gasp, and it's just amazing. The gasp, probably the best gasp I've ever heard in cinema history.
But then similarities between him and Michael really shine here again, because instead of freaking out,
True.
you can see in his face that he is in a whole heap of pain. But then he says, "Okay, it's time to call a truce. You need to call the 5 heads of the families together."
Yeah, no retaliation business.
No, he's very pragmatic straight off the bat, even after losing his son. It wasn't even Fredo.
No, Sunny delight, not anymore. So anyway, we see the first face we see in the entire movie comes back. Bonacera, he owns the funeral parlor, and Don comes in, and Sonny's lying on the slab, or he brings Sonny on the gurney in and goes, "Hey, want that favor now?" Bonacera was going, "Yes, anything Don, anything Godfather."
And he's like, "Thank God, this is the favor you're asking."
Yeah, this is my job, actually. Yeah,
yeah. I get paid for this now.
Yeah.
This is fine. I can do this.
But we have that famous line, "Look how they masked my boy."
Yeah.
And there's
Again,
darkness around him, and he's just in a spotlight, and we're looking kind of up at him and that, and it's just a powerful scene.
again, like Brando does a great job of just pure utter pain on his face.
Yeah.
I think it's helped by the lighting, like very much.
Oh
so.
yeah, cinematographer
The contrast,
knew what he was doing.
yeah.
I loved Mikey's face when he was told about it, because it just turns to stone, kind of.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely perfect, because there is no real reaction other than he starts calculating straight away.
Yeah. So he's basically going to one of his bodyguard friends, "Get my car ready, yo. Wife is staying here. I'm going in to do something, whatever." He comes back out.
Wife's in the car already, and the other bodyguard chap is going, "I'm just going to leave now."
Runs around the corner with a cloud of dust behind him. He runs so fast.
Yeah. Michael shouts at him. He turns back and goes,
Yeah.
and keeps legging. And then Michael's like, "Don't start the car."
No.
Boom skis.
Yeah. Wife goes boom. It was meant for Mikey.
He only knows her a few weeks anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And the good thing is he can go home now and get back with Diane Keaton.
Yeah. Show up out of nowhere after 4 months or so. All right.
No, 16 months.
16 months. Yeah.
He gets back and he's like, "Hello."
Get in my car.
Remember me?
She just gets in the car.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, at this point, she's no one to blame. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that's
jumping ahead a little bit, but at least we can skip over it. So we have the heads of the mafia meeting, which is kind of cool. We've got Don Barzini, at the head of the table. We got the Taglia across from the Don, and they're going, "Oh, you didn't share the judges or the governors when you were here, you know." And Don's going, he's still on it. So still on the whole point about don't trust drugs or don't trust narcotics. Then they're going, "Listen, they're fine," and he's going, "Okay."
Well, he's in no position anymore. He's realized that he's backed into a corner. So while he disagrees with them and their direction they're taking, the mafioso lads, he just acquiesces to them and goes, "Right, fair enough, we'll do the thing."
Yeah, but
big hugs, we'll hug it out.
But Don is eyeing Tartaglia because somebody's whispering in Tartaglia's ear, and Don's just eyeing him up. He eyes him up, and he knows. And then he goes, "On the souls of my grandchildren, peace. We'll have peace." So Tartaglia and him hug it out, as you say. Then
but just before that, it's kind of important to mention that he said, "There's one piece that I insist on. Anything at all happens to my son Michael, and I mean anything. If he has a heart attack, he crashes his car, he falls out a window, I'm going to kill you all."
Yes. Yeah.
But then they hug it out.
Yeah. Then he's in the car home. Then he just basically goes, "Yeah, it was Bronzini all along."
Yeah.
Tartaglia is a pimp.
Seen it in his face.
Yeah, Tartaglia is a pimp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike has been back. Mike has been back a year. Yeah. And yeah, Kay, he comes up and meets Kay, and he says to her quite interestingly, 5 years we're going to be legitimate. It's like, yeah, right.
Yeah, just before that, she says, or he calls her naive about, was it? She says a line, something along the lines of presidents and senators don't have people killed in reference to his business.
Oh yeah,
He says you've been very naive, and then he says in 5 years we'll be legit.
yeah.
And I'm thinking, who's naive?
He's just playing it up.
Yeah,
He's kind of like, well, he's basically then going. He just plays the romance card saying, "Kay, I need you. Kay, I love you," and then she just gets in the car.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
felt,
think at this point everything he does is calculated.
yeah.
Even the lines he uses to get her into the car, completely
No, I
calculated.
did feel like I didn't feel this for the rest of the movie, but I felt in that whole scene he was a bit wooden. Like the "Kay, I need you. Kay, I love you" was kind of wooden for him. And Paramount Studios were showing some early footage of his, and they hated Al Pacino. They didn't want him at all.
Really?
Yeah, didn't want him at all. And I thought he
Oh,
was great in the rest of the movie. I just thought it was a bit dodgy here.
yeah. Wasn't the most romantic of scenes, let's be honest.
No, no.
But I can forgive one poor scene in a 3 hour movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it just stood out because he is so good in the rest of the movie. Anyway, we get into sort of scene where basically, the Dawn is, we're back in headquarters, back in the villa of the Dawn, and he's sort of easing out of the role, and Michael's going to be there, and everybody's
Yeah, in your
questioning,
head.
things, and Dawn is just, you be a friend to Michael, he's in charge. So it's like Michael then basically goes, Tom, you're out. Um,
Yeah, Mike. Tom's not impressed with this at
No,
all.
yeah, he's in head down to Nevada, whatever. So anyway, Mikey goes to Nevada to sort out Mo Green because he wants his
Oh,
casino.
Mo
So this is
Green,
where
you silly
this
boy.
is where Fredo is. Fredo's hanging out down here, he's having the time of his life. He's all bronzed up and tanned and everything.
Dressed like an
He's
idiot.
dressed like an idiot. He's an absolute twat. Going to make an offer he can't refuse. It's the third time it's said. He basically Mikey says that, and Mo Green comes in and goes, "No, forget it, Lois. This is my bloody."
See, what he doesn't realize is when an offer is made to him that can't be refused, you don't refuse it.
That's the whole
It's a
meaning.
really silly
Yeah.
thing to do. Yeah, I also liked that there was one line where he said, Michael says to Mo Green, "So you straightened out my brother?"
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it was his card was kind of already
You're
burnt
dead.
at this point.
Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, we messed with Fredo, and while Fredo is a bit of a joke, I'm pretty sure I want to kill you.
Oh, yeah, all he did basically was add to his list of who he's going to kill. Basically, so Mo Green, you're sorted. You're dead. Basically,
Yeah, yeah, got his card stamped right
yeah.
there.
So we have a very nice scene with Dawn and Michael talking about stuff back home in the New York area. I'm guessing they are right. Must be. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and they're talking about the lads and who you have to watch out for, and
Yep. Very nice.
Mazzini, meeting messenger, will be the guy who's betrayed you.
Barzini.
Mazzini, sorry, Mazzini.
Yeah.
Why did I
So
write
yeah,
Mazzini?
whoever tells you about the meeting and takes you there, it's going to be the one that will assassinate you. Mikey basically says, "I told you I can handle it," and yeah, this is when Dawn says, as you mentioned earlier, "I never wanted this for you."
It's
It's a
great line.
it's a great
line.
scene. Dawn shuffles
Mm.
off, and Mikey just slumps in the chair, knowing he's got a lot of stuff to happen.
Now we have our Simpsons
We
scene
have the
with the
we have a
orange
little bit of a
slice.
time jump here. Like I'm sure it's maybe only a week or so, whatever. But yeah, the Don is with his grandkid. He's playing in the tomatoes, and he does a great scene where he cuts the tomato peel and puts it in his mouth and pretends to be a monster and starts
It
chasing.
makes his grandkids cry by mistake. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, and then I'm guessing that was ad hoc too, and the kid was really scared.
Yeah, it really works though. It really
Oh yeah,
does.
that's great.
It makes it feel really.
Yeah, because
real.
I never did. I never
Uh,
cut the thing to have teeth in them. I just put them in straight. When you did the orange rinds in your
Yeah,
mouth,
yeah.
and I never flipped them around to make them look like teeth. It's a genius move.
It's genius.
So when poor Don has a heart attack when he's playing with his grandkid.
But in fairness, he died doing something with his grandkids, which is a nice way to go for a mobster.
Yeah,
You expect to have your head ripped off or wake up in bed with a horse or something. I don't know.
sleep with the fishes.
It's not a bad death at all. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Well, it's
As ways to die as a mobster, it's a good one.
It's a well shot scene. There's lots of like Finn
Mm.
tumbling around, hitting the tomato vines and everything. It's really good. It's
Kids laughing at him as he's struggling.
kids laughing at him, and then the kid walks away, hopefully to get help or whatever. But the kid is like thinking, "Oh, he's just playing granddad, whatever."
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, we have the graveyard scene of Don's funeral next, and it's tension filled. Mikey is pretty much just staring at people to get who the hell is going to get him. He's not really in the scene mentally. He's pretty much scoping out who's going to get him.
Oh yeah, he's still calculating.
Yeah.
Everybody else is crying or whatever. He's there calculating, who is it I need to have whacked, or who's going to try to whack me.
And he finds that pretty critical because Tessio, one of the guys that's been hanging around all movie, one of the old confidants of the Dawn, comes over and goes, "Yo, Barzini wants to meet." Okay.
Cool, set it up. We
I'll
can do
meet. I'm
this.
gonna meet after the. I'm
Yeah.
gonna. But then he basically goes to Tom. I'm gonna meet after the baptism. So the ending montage is one of the best montages you'll
This
see in
is
cinema.
amazing with the organ music playing. As he's they're saying, well, as the priest is saying Latin or speaking Latin over the kid's head and mucking about, and then the organ music starts getting louder and louder, and it's setting the scene with various people setting up in different locations, like putting a gun together or hiding in a hallway, and just it all comes together at the same time as a bunch of people get whacked.
Yeah, we see everybody that is on the list.
Yeah, they all go at the same time. I'm assuming it's meant that they all go at roughly the same time as he's.
Yeah, he's alibied.
Christening.
Yeah, he's an alibi.
Yeah.
Mo Green gets shot in the eyeball.
Yeah, don't feel bad for
Nope.
him. Don't feel bad for any of them, to be honest.
Yeah, it was good.
It's such a great scene. Such a great scene. All 5 heads decapitated from their families.
Barzini gets done on the steps of looks like a courthouse or something.
Oh yeah, but a guy dressed as a cop.
Yeah, that was a good one.
What I like is everybody that's shot, they're shot multiple times and they make damn sure they're dead.
Yeah. Anyway, next scene, Tessio gets surrounded, and one of the kind of most sort of poignant lines is said. He basically says, "Can you let me off the hook for old time's sake?"
For old time's sake.
Nah.
Tom says, sorry, mate. Nope. Not today.
So he's just resigned. He just stoops into the car and he knows he's going to get whacked.
But then he says, just tell Michael, it wasn't personal.
Yeah.
Which is it's a nice thing. He knows he's dead and he knows he had it coming.
Yeah. And so we're wrapping up every loose end here. Carlo is
Carlo, buddy.
Carlo Booby.
Booby. Yeah, this is he thinks he's getting away with it.
But again, it's Mikey's masterful manipulation of him. He's like
he wants a little bit more information out of who set you up,
who approached you. Get him I love when he just says, "Get him a drink," just like I'm caring for this guy. And he's like going, you gotta, just level with me. Here's a ticket. We're going to send you off to Las Vegas. Who was it? Barzini approached me. All right, mate. Here's your ticket. Away you go.
Off you go into the car. That's not Vegas.
The last garroting. An excellent, one of the most vicious garroting I've seen, where he kicks out the front, and they have to drive then with the foot hanging out the front windscreen, basically.
Yeah. Well, again, Carlo, it's too good for you, nearly. You don't repeatedly beat up the daughter of a mafia boss and expect it to be grand.
No. And
you don't have Sonny whacked, which is effectively what he did. Yeah. He set him up.
He purposefully got Connie to beat him up, or to go nuts, and then he beat her up, and then that led to Sonny leaving the house. Perfectly planned by the Tattaglias.
And a future whacking that Carlo didn't realize was coming, because he assumed that they wouldn't cop it.
Yeah.
But
so we're wrapping up in
Michael's no idiot.
Mikey's last scene.
Then the wife scene.
Connie isn't happy that her husband's dead, even though he beat her to crap a couple of times. He sort of hugs her, placates her. That's the way it is.
Yep. Bye now.
So
but then Diane Keating comes in.
Kate.
Yeah.
Is it true?
And he says, "Don't ask about my business, Kate."
Is it true? Then he says, "You can ask me one question and I'll answer it honestly, this one time. Is it true?"
No, you big fool.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the last scene of The Last of Us in season 1, where he lies to
the back of the car. What did she ask him? Something about, did you do anything bad?
Yeah, did you do anything bad?
On the way out?
Nope.
Nope. Nobody died. I didn't kill 50 people. Let's keep driving.
Yeah, that's good. So, end scene of the movie finally is excellently shot, because it's from the...
Oh, it's beautiful. The door slowly closes, looking in from the wife's
point of view.
Hand being kissed. He's the Don.
Don Corleone is the last
And
words of the
the circle
sentence.
is complete.
Yeah, shut the door. The door is shut.
Such a great
Yeah,
movie.
shut.
Such a great movie. That
The,
bit. That just yes.
the door is shut, and it's sort of a symbol, Okay, you're in the family, but you're not in the family.
Yeah, and she's fooling herself. Like she let herself. She knows that he had Sonny killed. She absolutely knows it. She wants to be lied to, though. That's my
Yeah,
take on it, anyway.
yeah. It's yeah. I don't know. I don't know. She really just believed him when he said no, though. She's like, okay,
Yeah, what
well,
she wanted to believe him. She didn't question it. She just went, okay, yeah, fair enough. But she knows he's a murderer by trade, so
sort of goes, it goes back to the first scene of the wedding where he goes, "I'm not in the family business. I'm not like them." Then the end scene, he is, and he is like them, and she should know it.
yeah.
And I
But
think,
she chooses to ignore it or pretend not to know it.
well, that's what the Don's wife did. We don't see her in the entire movie, basically. She just plays the spouse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anything else that we have forgotten?
I can't think of anything at the moment. There's a bunch you can say about it trivia wise, but we could be here all day.
Yeah, we could pretty much have a entire episode just listing out the trivia in IMDb because it's like, I don't know, there's like maybe 200 pieces of trivia and it's all very interesting. And maybe for our 100 episode, we'll have 50.
Spend 4 hours
Yeah.
talking about The Godfather.
Yeah. It's interesting because if you went through all of them, you could actually then use that to talk about the movie.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
I'm struggling about the ratings here. I'm just before I mention, maybe you just say what you're doing for the plot.
Plot, I put down. I was struggling as well. I started off with a 4.5, but I don't think it's 4.5. I think it's 4.
That's what I put down. I'm going to stick with that then. Yeah.
It's good. It's good. I put down 4.5 originally because I only watched this earlier today. When I sat down and I thought about it again, I went, no, that's too much. Like it's a good plot. It's a damn good plot, but it's not that complex. Let's be honest.
No, it's gangster. It's gangsta.
Gangsta, yeah, but it's really good.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 is damn good.
Yes.
But I find it hard to justify the 4.5.
Yeah, and it's going to be up there, probably rating wise, in a top 10 movie, but it's just something that I just haven't looked at for a long time and not really has been in my radar. So that's fine if it seeps into my top 10 movies. I'm okay with that because it's a damn good movie, as you say.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the acting. Obviously, Jesus, like Marlon Brando is great.
Yes. James Caan, bang on. Al Pacino, fantastic.
I did,
else?
and then a lot of the rest of them are there's a lot of extras that are goons, and I think they are aware actually goons in real life.
And they come across quite well because of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Robert Duvall. Sorry, I forgot about him.
yeah.
He's great in this as well as
Tom's great. Tom's a
Uh,
lawyer. He comes across lawyer-like and sort of balanced, calm. Good.
Yeah, and Barzini, like well acted as well.
Solozo.
Solozo, very good. Sal Hesio, fantastic. I thought
He's got the face for it.
he does have the face for it. Fredo, yeah, pretty good. It really comes down to the first 4 or 5 actors though, and they are stunk.
Yeah,
I thought the guy who played Clemenza was very good as well.
yeah. He's good. He's good. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of, okay, where will I get better acting? Like I can think of a couple of things.
Because this is stacked. Like, let's be honest.
Listen, I had 4.25 down, but I'm gonna bump it to 4.5. Like if any movie it's gonna get 4.5 or above, it's gotta be The Godfather.
No, I've got it 4.5. Like Marlon Brando by himself pulls it up several points. Then Al Pacino is on form here, apart from that one scene we discussed. And then, God, it's just great acting. It really is.
Yeah,
4.5. I couldn't go lower. I couldn't justify going lower.
And I was just changing there my soundtrack score. I had it at 4, but I just put it up to 4.25 because it's 6 notes and it's emblazoned into everybody's minds. It's like Jaws. It's like Jaws theme tune.
Yeah. I give you that. To be honest, on the music, I had down at 3.5 earlier today, and having discussed the different ways in which the 6 notes have been used, one thing we didn't mention, I really liked how it was done, how those same 6 notes were used in the Sicilian scenes, because it's translated them into more of a traditional sort of usage of them. So it just works so well. I 3.75, 4. F it, 4.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah, it was
thinking. I'm
good.
thinking like if I ever do Pulp Fiction, I'll probably give that
Oh
4.9.
God,
I'll probably maybe give it a
yeah,
5. But this is different. This is a
yeah.
new. This is not new. This is just a different way of doing sound track.
No, this isn't. Yeah, the sound in
Yeah,
Pulp Fiction is as good as could possibly get. This isn't it
yeah,
though, but it's still damn
yeah.
good.
All right, production I gave 4.5 because of the cinematography, the
Mm.
scenery, the just basically the way they went about telling the story. I think it was excellent. I think cinematography in the Rembrandt-esque sort of darkness with contrasting the faces and well lit scenes. It gives that
Oh, it's
entire,
beautiful.
and when you go into the hospital, it's all green. Gives that,
Yes,
it's, and then Sicily is purely bright and brown and
open
rustic.
spaces and beautiful. Yeah,
So yeah, that's my justification for 4.5.
I had it at 4, but I popped it up to 4.25. I want to knock it a little bit for something, and that was the Sunny scene where he gets killed.
Yeah,
It's a bit
it's a little
much.
bit much.
He's standing up far too long for the amount of bullets that put into him.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. So
Aside from that, production's fantastic.
yeah, I think 4. Yeah, around, like, great movie. So on Metacritic, Variety gave it 80 out of 100. It said overlong at about 175 minutes, played without intermission, and occasionally confusing,
Mm.
while never so placid as to be boring. It is never so gripping as be superior screen drama. There's a typo there. So basically, but you get the gist.
Seems a bit harsh.
Yeah, there's a lot
Overlong.
of hundreds. Marjorie Bumgard in the Austin Chronicle gave it 100. Just about as great as a movie is ever going to be. As for the storytelling, The Godfather is an intricately constructed gem that simultaneously kicks ass.
Indeed, it does.
Yeah, I've read Marjorie Baumgarten's scores many times, I think, now in this podcast. All right, shall we stick a horse's head in the bed of this episode?
Well, how can I refuse an offer like that?
All right, then. So we will roll again for a Best Picture Oscar winner. And let's see if we get The Godfather 2.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, wow. We just got number 2, which is Coda, which I've never seen. Coda from 2022.
Never heard of it.
All right, the synopsis from Metacritic is gifted with a voice that our parents can't hear. 17-year-old Ruby is the sole hearing member of a deaf family, a coda, which means a child of deaf adults. Her life revolves around serving as an interpreter for her fun-loving but sometimes embarrassing parents, and working on the family's struggling fishing boat every day before school with her father and older brother. But when Ruby joins her high school's choir club, she discovers a gift for singing and finds herself drawn to her duet partner Miles. With help from her supporting, if tough-loving choir master, Ruby is encouraged to apply to a prestigious music school. However, she finds herself torn between taking care of her family and chasing her dreams. I remember hearing about this movie.
Sounds like a talkie to me.
It is 1 hour and 51 minutes.
Okay,
It
could be good.
It's got
Could be an interesting.
yeah, it's got a
movie.
Metascore of 72. It's got a user score of 7.6. It's got Marley Matlin, who's a very famous hearing impaired actor.
No, I know the
Yeah.
girl.
Emilia Jones is the daughter. I don't know her. And then
No, I've never heard of it before.
so, but yeah, I do remember the hype around this when Oscars were happening around I think it was made in 2021 and won at a 2022 Oscar. So yeah, I'm not too disappointed with that one. That's fine.
I completely missed this one. I guess I wasn't paying attention in 2022 on the Oscars.
2021, probably COVID still annoying us.
Yeah. I was still drunk.
Yeah, still, and the after effects of your COVID shots.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap that up. That'll be an interesting second best movie Oscar winner episode for us for episode 46. Please like and share our podcast wherever you listen to us on, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.
Ciao.